Hi everyone, Christian Young here, United Australia Party candidate for the seat of Dawson. I don't know about you, but I'm angry. Are you comfortable with how things are going, or are you concerned? Do you think if Labor or Liberal are elected, or Greens at the next election, your life's going to get better, or is it going to get worse? About me in less than 20 seconds. I have a young family. I live in Mackay at a suburb called Slade Point, and I'm the founder and managing director of Impress Solutions, a health and safety services company for the Queensland coal mining industry. As a successful business owner, I know it's all about just sticking to your values and listening to the people. Who agrees that we are at a pivotal moment in Australia's history? On one path, we can choose the majors and get more of the same, or even worse, or on the other path, we can actually make a true change by voting out the majors. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. They do not care about you. The Labor and Liberal and Green candidates may talk a good game, but ultimately, these candidates are not in control. And I'm going to talk through some examples of this. As you probably realise, they must toe the party line. Look at their history of voting in state or federal politics. What happens to them if they don't toe the party line? What happened to George Christensen? He's left the party. What happened to Craig Kelly? He was ostracised and marginalised till he left the party as well. So ultimately, it's their masters in control and they must vote in accordance with the party line. From a UAP perspective and other minor party candidates, we have control of our vote. So if something's not right for our electorate, we will say no. If we need to cross the floor to protect our electorate, we will. No one's in control of us. Now, they're coming for your home. There was an interest rate rise yesterday. There's at least 3 more predicted this year. If we get to 4% home loan interest rates, 60% of mortgages are at risk. If they cared about you, then why are they not doing everything they can to help you protect your home? I'm not sure the ALP policy of the government owning 40% of your home is the best solution to this housing crisis. Why are they not asking the questions like, where have the Queensland homeowners' property deeds gone? If you go to the bank, they no longer exist. They're on some digital system managed by an offshore company. Why are they not talking about that we have a home ownership catastrophe on our hands and that we should be doing everything we can to prepare for this? From a UAP perspective, I'm sure you've seen the billboards. We'll use section 5113 of the Constitution to legislate a maximum 3% home loan interest rate for the next 5 years. That at least is going to give people certainty through this economic turmoil that is ahead of us. Now, you'd think that a lot of people would be like, okay, well, that's different, but that's not such a bad idea. Is that what's happening? Absolutely not. The majors and the mainstream media, all they're trying to do is talk about how it will not work. But that's not the issue. The issue is that people are going to lose their homes. And we need to do everything we can to stop that from happening. They're coming for your job. So the LNP are speaking about 4% unemployment. Do you know how many hours, minimum hours per week, you need to work to be classed as employed? 1 hour. That's right, 1 hour to be classed as employed. So we have LNP saying, hey, 4% unemployment, but how many of these people are 1 hour, 2 hours? Ridiculous. We've got people who've been sacked due to illogical mandates. During the lockdowns, which businesses suffered? Did Coles, Woolies or Bunnings, were their backs against the wall? Absolutely not. What businesses went out of business? It was the mum and dad operations, a small business owner, and then their staff as well. If they truly cared about your job, why are they not demanding that sacked workers be reinstated? Because we see the science now doesn't work about these mandates. Why are they not supporting small business owners to flourish and get back into the market? In addition to reinstating sacked workers, the UAP will be offering 20% tax relief to businesses and individuals that are based more than 200 kilometres away from a capital city. We need to promote investment and business and jobs in our region. They're coming for the coal industry. Now, rhetorical question, do you think net zero is a good idea? We don't. It's projected there's going to be 125,000 lost jobs in North Queensland alone due to net zero. That's the equivalent of 25 years of growth. Did you know that China, in 16 days, produces the same amount of emissions that Australia does in 1 year? Is China signing up to the net zero? Of course not. They know it's madness. So why are we? Now, interestingly, the Labor and Liberal candidates and parties say, look, yep, we support the coal industry. However, behind the scenes, both of them, Labor, Liberal and Greens, have signed up to net zero. So how can that be? How can you say we support the coal industry, but we're signed up to net zero? It just doesn't work. As I mentioned, it's their masters who are truly in control. If they truly cared about coal and industry and jobs, like the UAP, they would publicly declare that net zero is madness and we need to fight against it every step of the way, and any votes in Parliament we just push against. They're coming for our farms and our farming. What do you think is going to be the cost to farmers when net zero is brought in? Check out the Agriculture Bill 2022, where farmers and their ability to get finance, so get money from the banks, is going to be based on their sustainability score. They're forced to join to this sustainability program. So what do you think this is going to mean for the small farmer? What do you think is going to happen to their farming land? And if they've got to sell it, who do you think is going to come in and buy it? I think you can work that out. If they cared about the farmers and farming and jobs, they would declare this bill is madness and needs to be rejected. They're coming for your cash. So if you're not aware of the digital identity bill, you need to be aware of it. It was debated in Parliament prior to Parliament, finishing up and going to the election. It's still there waiting for us. Look what happened in France literally days after Macron was re-elected. He's now backing, I think I've got to get the words right, the Digital Identity Guarantee Service. They're bringing it in. They're just waiting for the election, then they're bringing it in. If that comes in, then we move to social credit scores. Once we move to social credit scores, what do you think is going to happen to cash? And once cash goes, who do you think is going to be in control of you and what you can do and what you can say and where you can go and who you can hang out with and decisions you can make? If they truly cared about you, they would agree the digital identity bill is madness and needs to be voted out and rejected. You didn't wake up one morning and go, oh, you know what? I think I want a digital identity bill brought in. Coming for your body and your health, and we can already see that. There's so many people. Were you coerced into getting an experimental vaccine, or was someone that you know, were they coerced into it? Did you know that these two, themselves and their ministers and their government and all the staff, they are exempt from vaccines. They are exempt from all these mandates. If COVID was such a catastrophe, wouldn't everyone be rushing out there to get vaccinated? And what's happened to doctors who speak out against vaccines? If they truly care about you, they would agree, like the UAP, that vaccine mandates are a violation of basic human rights. And we need to reinstate sacked workers and give them back all of their lost pay and entitlements that were taken from them for the last period of time. And they're coming for our children. We can see it. Who ever thought we'd be in a situation where we're talking about vaccinations for 0 to 4-year-olds and mandating it? Who ever thought we'd be in a position where we've got health ministers and advisors who can't define what a woman is? Who would have thought you could go to school and be bullied for not wearing a mask or not being vaccinated? And they're coming for your way of life. This country is $1 trillion in debt. Do you know what the biggest cost to the government actually is? Is it healthcare, NDIS? No, it is the interest payments on this mountain of debt. Inflation's already been announced at 5.7% this year. Did your wages go up 5.7%? Of course not. Where is the plan from Labor, Liberal and Greens to repay this unprecedented level of debt? And we can listen to them say, well, look, we're going to give you this, we're going to invest in this. But at the end of the day, anything they're costing in, it's just going to come from more borrowing. So it's just going to go up and up and up. If they truly cared about you, they would let you know that it's the debt that's going to cause all of this issue with rising prices. And it's not until this debt is dealt with are we going to get any alleviation from this. What's the UAP doing about this debt? So we're going to place a 15% export license on iron ore shipments. So what that means is it's going to be the countries that are taking our iron ore, they are going to repay down our debt. And we project it'll be within 15 or 20 years, it's going to be paid off. So to summarize, they're coming for your home, they're coming for your job, they're coming for your health, coming for the coal industry and other industries, they're coming for our children, coming for our farming, coming for our lifestyle. Does this sound like a good future to you? And you need to ask yourself, to what end? What's the end game here? Well, their boss's boss told us on November 19th, 2016, you will own nothing and you will be happy. That's the end game. And this is what their masters think of you. They think, like a dumb sheep, at the next election, you're going to go down the path of voting Labor, Liberal and Greens, getting them in power, and heading off down in that direction towards what the WEF wants. They don't think you're going to go after the different path, vote for miners, vote for UAP, doesn't really matter, but change your vote and put the majors last. Are you going to let them do this? Are you going to let them control your lives like they have been for the last however many years, but we just didn't wake up to this? From a UAP perspective and from my perspective, I reject the WF, what it stands for, and any policies that ultimately give them what they want. And I'll reject that and stand against that whenever and however I need to do that. We need to make Australia great again. My name's Christian Young. Vote for me and let's make this happen. Thank you. Bye-bye. Authorised by Christian Young, United Australia Party, Brisbane.